Welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a podcast and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from thousands of successful individuals from around the world. I'm your host, Ashutosh Garg, and today I'm privileged to welcome a very accomplished entrepreneur from Mumbai, India, Mr. Anurav Dave. Anurav, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Ashutosh. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you. Anurav is the founder and chief executive officer of LUZO, a company that is bringing about a revolutionary change in the beauty and wellness industry. So, Anurav, before we talk about LUZO, tell me a little bit about your own background and what got you interested in starting LUZO.
Sure. To give you a brief introduction about myself,
Mm,
I've studied and born and brought up in Bombay itself,
mm,
and I've been to HR College of Commerce. After that, after my junior college, I actually pursued 5 years of law.
uh-huh.
And it actually comes from because my family comes from a law background itself. My
Okay.
parents have been lawyers. My grandfather has been a judge. So we have a strong law background, which is why I was led to law itself.
Right.
However, I always had this the urge to build something of my own,
Mm,
which is why I had several experiments trying to build something. Some died at the idea stage, some moved a step ahead, but
mm,
eventually did not work out. So a lot of failed experiments. However, I think COVID was the time when it all started.
right.
So it actually gave me a break to, stop what I was doing monotonously every single day and take a step back, think and ideate. That is how when, Luzo was born.
How amazing. How amazing. And now let's talk about LUZO. Tell
Sure.
me about what you are doing at LUZO and how are you bringing about a revolutionary change in the beauty and wellness industry?
Sure. So, just to give you, small understanding about what Luzo is, Luzo is basically a mobile application that enables users to browse through the beauty and wellness services being offered by the trusted salons and spas in their vicinity
Mm,
and book their appointments. And
mm,
when they also, make the payments through the app, they get certain rewards and deals through it.
mhm.
And just to give you a little bit, history about, how we started off Luzo. So as I mentioned, in the midst of COVID, what happened was, so we had three co-founders in the team, myself, Man Jetli and Nikhil Kalwani. So Man Jetli's mother, she is the one who actually comes from this beauty and wellness industry.
Mhm,
So she is a salon owner who was starting off with another line of salons, right before COVID. And
mhm.
as you can understand, this is a very, investment heavy, fixed cost heavy
Right.
business. All of her investments were made, but it was as soon as she started, COVID struck. So it was
Mm,
a very difficult time for, him and his family as, none of their operations could run and they were incurring huge losses.
mm.
So we all three being, close friends, we came together. We were like, if there is there something that, we can do to help you and, contribute in any way. So, when I was discussing his scenario with my mother, she came out with this idea that, every industry is going through such a technological revolution,
Correct.
because in COVID, we all realized that unless you are digital, unless you're online, your survival is really, really difficult.
Correct.
So that is when, she just threw some ideas out there,
Yeah.
and I sat the night and I thought about it. The next day, I called both my co-founders and I was like, my mother was telling me that, if what if we can build something that can, actually bridge the gap between the beauty and wellness service industry
Mm.
and the customers.
Okay.
So as and when we sat down together, we ideated more and more. We spoke to our co-founder's mother, understood what were the problems she was facing.
Mm, mm.
With her connects, we spoke to other people in the industry, understood what problems were they facing, and that is how we actually build Luzo.
Okay.
Yes, and to answer your question, how are we, making a difference and bringing about a revolution is So one of the reasons what we, one of the problems that we realized is in my personal capacity also I face this, and even my friends as well.
Hmm.
So even when we walk through, a good salon like a B Blunt or a JCB, those celebrity salons, the premium
Hmm.
salons, we often have this, a shy feel that,
Hmm.
this salon is really going to be expensive. Can I actually walk, can I
Correct.
actually go there? Or if I walk in there and ask for a price, and if it does not fit my budget, it'll look really bad to, just walk out.
Hmm.
And we as people, we have that shy factor within us. So we realized there was no transparency at all.
Hmm.
And India is such a country where aspiration is at its peak. We all want to, look good. We want the best things. And at the same time, we also have to make sure, it all fits within our budget. So we
Correct.
realized that if we can, bring along this transparency and help people meet their aspirational needs, we could really build something that can bring about a revolution.
Hmm.
So that is keeping these things in mind. We started building upon LUZO, wherein we could help salons showcase what services they can bring for the customers.
Mhm.
We help customers educate themselves, get aware of the services, what could be offered, what if it could meet their price needs. And one of the biggest things, what we realized, what we resolved with our, our model, our financial model, was, say, if we were to visit any an average salon, like, for mainly for the masses,
Hmm.
and the very good salons, the price difference would roughly be about, 25 to 30%.
Correct.
So we realized if we can bridge this gap,
Hmm.
we have a huge audience who can, upgrade themselves.
Correct.
So we devised a model wherein we could keep the salon, the service providers happy, we could keep the customers happy, and we as a business could sustain positively.
Hmm.
So we sat down, we devised this model, and now we've created an ecosystem where everyone involved benefits from it.
How wonderful. How wonderful. And what is behind the name LUZO? LUZO. What does it stand for?
Sure. So that is an interesting story, in fact.
Hmm.
So when we started off, originally the name was not Luzo, it
Hmm.
was called Salon Surf.
Hmm.
So coming up with the name itself was a big task because we had hundreds of names, and finally
Correct.
we had landed upon Salon Surf.
Correct.
But it was very, very generic, as as you can understand, salon booking and salon surf. It was very, very relatable. However, as and when we moved on and we met with 100x. So they have a branding expert, Ninat Karpe, as one of the founding core
I know.
members.
I know Ninath. I've interviewed him. Hmm.
Definitely. So, in fact, he was of the opinion that, where you need to start thinking, bigger, because when you grow to a larger scale, you're just not going to be salon surf.
Correct.
So you need to think on the lines wherein if you're building an entire ecosystem,
Hmm.
you need to have a name like that,
Hmm.
something that's catchy, something that's quick, something that sticks. He helped us with a lot of his ideas, and that's how we came up with the name Luzo. So
Hmm.
it basically means to shine bright, to have confidence, to express yourself in a positive way. It's actually a Portuguese word that we have taken the inspiration from.
How wonderful. How wonderful.
Yeah.
But Anurav, the next question is that the beauty and wellness space is one massive, but it's also very intense competition in that area. How are you differentiating yourself?
Sure. So, when we started off, funny story, we thought we've come up with something absolutely new and unique that nobody's ever done before. But, to be honest, I really doubt there is an idea that you've thought of that has never been done before.
Uh-huh.
So when we started looking up, to learn from our, previous competitors,
Yeah.
who've built something in a similar space, we realized the, some of the common mistakes they made and which led to their failure.
Hmm.
So, we realized that commission model was not really working out, or the quality of salons was, a really big concern because, when it comes to your personal care,
Hmm.
when you visit a salon, say, for example, a hair treatment,
Hmm.
you would not want a salon to use substandard products, or,
Correct.
anything that has to do with your body has to be of good quality, so that you get good results.
Right.
We realize people don't mind paying, but they really want good quality of service, trusted service.
Right.
And even when it comes to salons, we want a model that is sustainable for them.
Hmm.
So keeping these two things in mind, we focused only bringing on board the trusted salons. So
Hmm.
now when a customer is using LUZO and he sees a salon on board, he knows I can trust this salon blindly because there have been certain checks done by LUZO, so I can visit them perfectly fine. The service that I'll receive will absolutely be good. And in terms of salons, we work in such a way that they're ensured of their sale. So they never think of undercutting us or finding a loophole to keep Luzo out of the picture. So
Hmm.
we're developing a very complementary product so that everybody involved is getting happy with the services they
Hmm.
get.
How fascinating. And like any other startup entrepreneur, my next question is, what have been some of your challenges and how have you overcome these?
Sure. So, to be honest, I think one of the biggest challenges I faced was convincing my dad.
Okay.
Uh, because, when I started off, I was roughly about 22 years old. And as I told you, I was a law student in my final
Hmm.
year with my exams coming up. And I was not working in the field of law.
Oh,
And as I mentioned, I have a strong law background.
correct.
It kinds of build a family pressure as well. So, and every day I'd wake up, he'd ask me, "So, what are you doing next?"
Huh.
And because I did not have anything substantial at that moment, it was very difficult for me to break it to him, what I'm building upon or what I'm working on.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that was one of the biggest challenges, and to overcome that, I made myself so busy that he did not have the time to ask me what I'm doing next.
Okay.
So heads down in execution, I think is
Yeah.
what I focused on.
Hmm.
Uh, as you're building your idea, initially it's not possible that you're going to be busy 24/7 just ideating and working on one thing. So I started working with another startup, which I would recommend a lot of people
Hmm.
because this gives you a lot of experience and learnings. Learning from other industries as well.
Hmm.
So in fact, I'm really thankful for my previous company, the startup where I was working because I learned a lot of things over there.
Hmm.
Besides that, I as I left from there, I also had another startup in place, which I was working upon, which was growing very well. But of course, I had to shut down because Luzo then became a priority and it was growing on even
Hmm.
faster.
Hmm.
So finally, only when I reached the milestone is when I could actually break it to my dad that, you know what, I'm working on this and law is not something that I want to pursue right now.
Hmm. Wonderful. And you've also been speaking about how you have been using technology to make a
Correct.
difference in the world of beauty and wellness. Tell me, how are you using technology and how is it benefiting consumers?
Sure. So, of course, our app, as as much as it's built for customers and consumers, we also, make sure that our providers are happy. So,
Hmm.
just to give you an example, if you were to ever visit a salon on a weekend, you'd see the managers are insanely busy.
Correct.
So, when we started working with them, we realized their problems as well. And, ultimately, we are tech enablers, but they're the ones who are providers. So, we need to take
Right.
care of them as well. So,
Yeah.
when we heard about their problems, we were like, we need to make sure that our providers are happy. Only then they can keep our consumers happy.
Hmm.
So when it comes to our managers, we built an app for them as well, wherein at the touch of a button, they're
Hmm.
able to confirm appointments, they're able to connect with their customers,
Hmm.
and they can do it as per their convenience.
Hmm.
So we first build something to keep them happy, and then coming to our customers, we're using technology in a way wherein as of now, we're helping them categorize and educate themselves.
Hmm.
However, as we're in the nascent stage, we're not using deep technology, but we're also in the process
Hmm.
wherein we'll be able to cater to personalized needs of the customers
Right.
depending upon the problems they face or the concerns they have. So
Right.
as and when our product develops further, you will definitely see that coming along.
Amazing. And are you primarily in Mumbai right now, or have you started expanding?
So as of now, our main focus has been in Bombay.
Hmm.
However, scaling for us is a little bit easy. The reason being, when we partner with a brand that has roots in Bombay and as well as other cities,
Correct.
we can quickly expand. So as of now, we've covered most of Bombay and we're slowly venturing into Pune as well.
Okay. Okay. Well, good luck. I'm sure we'll see you, nationally very soon. My next question, Anurav, is that what would you say are some of the insights that you have uh, into the future of the beauty and wellness industry, and what trends do you see emerging?
Sure. So, very recently I came across a startup that is using artificial intelligence and machine learning
Oh,
in
wow.
beauty and wellness. So,
Okay.
what they're basically going to do is uh, you can sit at home with your mobile phone, look into the screen, and you can actually get an idea of what hairstyle suits you best
Hmm.
or what kind of hair color would look, upon your hair.
Correct. Correct.
And not just any color. With the help of machine learning, they're able to actually, feed so much of data to the product
Hmm.
of just one particular stylist,
Hmm.
and it will tell you that if this XYZ stylist were to give you a haircut, this is how it would look like.
Wow.
So this upcoming technology trends is going to make your beauty and experience completely different, because today I think a lot of guys would face this, that whenever I walk in to get a haircut, I get the right haircut after a week.
Uh,
But now you're going to be able to get the haircut that you feel like right. You can see it, what fits you best. Go to that specific stylist at that
hmm.
particular salon and get it done for yourself.
Hmm.
So the beauty and wellness trends are emerging at a very rapid pace, and technology is definitely going to play a pivotal role in it.
Very interesting. My next question is that, the beauty and wellness industry has also always been very conscious of diversity and, in equity and inclusion. What are you doing as one of the co-founders of LUZO to ensure that the DEI work that is normally so well understood in the beauty and wellness industry is something that you continue to respect?
Definitely. So, as they're at nascent stage, the thing I do the most is listen to my customers.
Hmm.
So, as the needs are ever changing, nobody better than your customers can tell you about it.
Hmm.
So, just to give you an example, as I mentioned, we started with salons, but we started an increase in the trend of nail bookings. So we onboarded nail spas.
Okay.
Now, when we onboarded nail spas, our customers told us that no, some people are not comfortable with the UV light that is being used in nail spas. So we onboarded a nail spa that does not use a UV light but uses a more advanced product that customers are now loving it.
Hmm.
We realized that our customer segment is quite aspirational, quite premium. They love to pamper themselves. We started working with a chain of spas which is located in five-star hotels like Marriott, Radisson, and many more.
Hmm.
And now we get a lot of inquiries from our customers that we are very concerned about our skin, and we want to avail services more in the skin sector. So we're now going to partner up with the industry that is deep into providing skin services. So I
Hmm.
think the more you listen to your customers, the better you'll understand, the better you'll be able to serve them.
Very interesting. And I don't have time for one more question. And this question uh, is now more about your own journey as an entrepreneur. Based on your, and you said, your journey is still very, very early days. And you did tell me some of the challenges and how you managed to tell your father after some time. What would you say are three lessons that you would want a lot of our young viewers and listeners to take away from your own journey as an entrepreneur?
Sure. So I think three lessons. The first one would be it may not be your first idea.
Hmm.
So, you really need to hold in there. and
Yeah.
do not be dejected by your failures.
Yeah.
So you may have to have 3 or 4 ideas, that fail, you might
Uh,
stumble upon. But if you're really passionate about it, you are going to find that one idea that is going to bring about change.
hmm.
So have patience
Hmm.
and heads down and execute, because you will
Hmm.
find it if you're really willing to find it.
Very interesting.
The second one is, a lot of founders these days ask me, so how do you figure it out? Like, how do you actually start, and how do you take the next step? So my message would be, you will eventually figure it out.
Correct.
It is not difficult to understand. It is difficult to execute.
Hmm.
So, you may have a lot of ideas, but unless, you're willing to give it your all to execute,
Hmm.
you're not really going to have it.
Right.
The third one that I would say is, surround yourself with the right people.
Right.
With me, I initially had my, mother. You need to, a lot of people need to understand the importance of a mother, and, the value she could bring to
Correct.
you. Like in my case, my mother is the one who gave the birth to the idea. Besides that, having really close friends. So my really close friend, Dhwani, she helped me evaluate my thoughts, my ideas.
Right.
My co-founders who helped me build it, and eventually, the founding team of 100x, Ninad, Sanjay,
Hmm.
Yagnesh, all of them,
Hmm.
who helped and guided us in the right direction of what we need to do.
How wonderful. How wonderful. And on that note, Anurav, and your wonderful lessons, your first idea may not be your last idea. They could be failures, but have the patience and have um, and execute. Second, you said that execution is so critical, being able to achieve what you want. And the third one you said was surround yourself with the right kind of people. Thank you so much for speaking to me about your own amazing journey. I had actually no idea about the kind of work that LUZO is doing. But as you were talking to me, I suddenly started to sense that it is not just an opportunity in Mumbai, but it's an opportunity not only in India, but all over the world. And
Absolutely.
one of these days, we'll probably see you as a unicorn, talking to people from around the world.
Definitely.
Thank you for speaking to me and good luck to you.
Thank you so much, Ashutosh. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the brand called You.